Everybody, welcome back. Very glad to be able to visit with this class again, spend this time with you guys to see Jack, and very excited to introduce someone to you all shortly. Hey, Jane T, thanks for jumping in the chat. I see other folks here. Jump in, say hi. Maybe you're still filling up that cup of tea, but just as always, want to make sure everyone feels invited to ask Jack questions, to respond to his questions. Please don't worry if other folks are quicker on the draw. And don't feel nervous if you think other folks, know the answers to your questions. You guys being here live, you're doing a service to the folks who can't join us live for the lessons, in that if you have a question, it's very likely other folks in this class who aren't able to be here live, it's very likely they'll have the same question. So please do leave it in the chat. It also lets Jack know when to slow down, when it's okay to speed up, etc., etc. Hey, Stephen, Jane T, Sean. I already said hi to Jane T. Shauna, as always, lovely. Shauna, wow. I'm not used to having you join from the UK. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, Repton, glad to be back with you again. You guys are pros, of course, but for any new or newish folks, just a reminder, if you run into any tech trouble, don't leave that in the chat. Instead, what I'd ask you guys to do, wait a second, try refreshing the web page. And if those things don't work, there's a backup link in the lesson reminder email that I send you and on the class page. So try those backup links. If nothing else is working, then you can always reach us by responding to any of the emails that we send you, or just email hello@learnbridgeonline.com, or use the support widget on the website, which you'll see in the bottom left corner of the page on the website. I think we're just about ready to go. Oh, PJ, I'm envious of the sun. We've had rain here for a week, and it gets me down. It gets me down. This is why I need my bridge. Jane T, I am not in the USA. I live in Japan, so I'm joining you from Japan. But this summer, I'll be able to visit back to the States, so I'll be happy to visit you guys from there as well. I think we're ready. Why don't we start the recording? As you guys know, it's one of the key things we have to do to make sure that this lesson, like all of them, are there for you in the lesson library, along with the lesson recording. There will be worksheet, hands from the lesson which you can play, etc. Hey, Lucy, so glad you could be with us. All right, here we go. The recording is active. Welcome back, everyone in the class, unable to be with us live, but very much with us in spirit. If you have any questions about today's lesson, just want to invite you to leave those questions on the class page. We'll all keep learning together there. A quick update for the class. Emailed with Franny today. She is still recovering. I let her know that we're all thinking of her. We're cheering her on as she gets stronger, back to her regular strength, and we'll be excited to hear of her full recovery. As you guys know, it was a pretty major deal that she had to deal with, but we're all thinking of her. I let her know that folks in the class, I was sure, join me in keeping her in our thoughts and prayers, and knowing that she'll be back to full strength soon. I wanted today to introduce the newest member of the LBO team. We have Caroline from New Zealand joining us, and she will be introducing Jack at the beginning of lessons, and she will be here to help out with any tech trouble behind the scenes. So let me call her up, and then we can call Jack on up. So please join me in a warm welcome for our newest member, Caroline, who is joining us all the way from New Zealand. Caroline, come on up. Hey, Beetle. Hey, Patricia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Bashir.
Oh, we are just so pleased to have you with us, to have you on the team. And yeah, I'm sure this is a friendly group. So everyone's in good hands, both with them and them with you. And of course, all of us with Jack.
Yeah, I've taken some of the lessons. I know how great they are. I know how supportive everybody is. So yeah, I'm really, really happy and excited to be a part of this. So yeah, looking forward to going on this journey with you all. Thanks,
Wonderful.
Judy. Thank you, Jane. Thank you,
Aren't they lovely? All right,
everyone.
let's get to it. I'm going to turn on Jack's camera. Let's invite him up to the stage, and he'll know that from all over the world, including folks from the other side, including Caroline and I, we're joining in the global applause that's calling him down. Come on down, Jack.
Drum roll.
Yeah, here we go. The third member of the party is here.
So Jack and Caroline got to meet a little bit earlier before the class today. Yeah, what a great team this is. Besides the two of you, everyone in this class, especially folks who could be with us live, I sure appreciate being able to spend this time with you all.
It's what I call the dream team, Bashir.
Oh yeah, we need jerseys.
yeah, that's your next thing, I think. LBO jerseys.
Oh yeah. All right, I'll have to see if that's in the budget, but I like it.
Yeah, the postage might be expensive from Japan to the UK.
Maybe a mascot.
But delighted that Caroline's on board, and she knows how to play bridge as well, which is a bonus.
A little. I mean, I don't want to make any promises.
No, let's not go over the top.
It's such a great game, though. The more you learn, the more you find out there is to learn, and it just keeps you going. It's
amazing game, isn't it? God knows who invented it. I think it evolved over many hundreds of years, actually, really. But I think we should get down to some bridge learning.
Let's do it. I will leave it to the two of you to wrap things up at the end of the lesson, but I will be around behind the scenes today. So just for you guys, let me know on our private channel if I can hop back in. Otherwise, I will see everyone next chance I get to swing by.
Yes, well, always nice to see you, Bashir. And Caroline, we'll meet up at the end of the show. Very good. Well, here we go, everyone. We are ready. If you're watching in replay, just nice to introduce Caroline to the team. Let's get straight on with the bridge opening one of us suits. We're going to learn about the rule of 20 today. Really useful gadget for opener. Some of you will have come across it already. Of course, others will be new to it. The person who makes the first positive bid is known as the opener. You know that. They need 12 points to open, but you can open less if you add on points for distribution. Teachers call it the rule of 20. Rule of 20, add up the total points in your hand to the number of cards in the two longest suits in your hand, only for the opening bid, pass, etc. Or you're starting. Doesn't work if someone's already opened a club or a diamond. If the total equals 20 or more, no surprise there, then open the bidding. So for example, if I've got 11 points and a 5 and a 4 shape, that's 9, plus 11 is 20. I can open the bidding. You're effectively adding on points for distribution. So here we go. Would you, with your newfound knowledge, some of you might know the rule of 20 already, picked it up en route, would you open the bidding with that or not? First question of the morning. Welcome to Shauna, who's joined us. Beetle. I mean, some of you before this lesson would have passed. You've only got 11 points, but you can apply the rule of 20. So you've got 11 points. I mean, don't apply the rule of 20 if you've got 12. That's wasting time. You'd automatically open. But if you've got 11 or 10 points, then yeah, give it a go. I think this passes rule of 20. Should we see? Patricia certainly does. Christine does. Jeremy, PJ, Jane. Yeah, there you go. So 11 points and a 5-4 shape. One spade. Don't ever think as responder that partner's got 11 points, by the way. Always assume they've got 12 to open the bidding. Otherwise, you'll get into a mess. Here's another one for you. Only 10 points. But would you open the bidding on that? 5 hearts and 5 diamonds. If you're watching in replay, Do you like this rule of 20? Let me get your vibes. Yes, you do like it. Good. I thought you'd say yes. And do you open a heart or a diamond here? Does pass the rule of 20. Repton, Jane T, Carrie, they're all bidding one heart. Good. But remember, it's high fives when you bid in bridge. One heart is better than one dime. We'll come on to that in a little while, I think. Good. So it's going to add a new string to your bow. Forgive my poor impression of an archer. If you don't fully understand the rule of 20, don't worry. It might take a week or two to get into it. Getting into it, let's go straight into hand 1. And here we go. Only 11 points. Would you open the bidding as south? Or not? Yeah, so 11 points, a 6 and a 3 is the 2 longest suits, remember. A 6-card suit with a 3-card suit is 9. That equals 21 spade. West has to pass. 13 points, but remember an overcall of 1 no trump is 15 to 19, much stronger to overcall 1 no trump. And they can't double because they're not short in spades. And North, what do they bid with their 13 points? Bringing into play last week's lesson, I think, which was responding to one of a suit. Jane T's first up on this one, followed by Carrie. Morning, Gisela. What do you think? The others are thinking about it, I think, in the live chat box. Yeah, it's cheapest of falls, this responder, isn't it? So 2 clubs there. Can't support the spades yet because we don't have 4 cards in spades. So well done. You didn't fall into my trap of bidding 4 spades. When I open 1 spade, I'm only promising 4 cards or more. South clearly bids 2 spades. And back to North, everyone. What do they do with their 13 points? Well, important bidding rule number 2. Whenever you repeat a suit, it promises 6 or more cards. Patricia, good morning. Judy, they're bidding straight to 4 spades now. As is Lucy. Yeah, they're all bidding 4 spades. They're right, of course. They've got the fit, and they've got 25 points for game. Never think that 1 spade is 11, by the way. Always assume it's 12, otherwise you'll get into a mess. Jack's favourite lead. Ace from Ace King against trump contracts. And plan the play. Always a good time. It's obvious that we're going to play the Jack of Hearts. We're not going to do it just yet because it's planning time. Always give it a moment's thought. I know you can't think for too long at the real table. But I'm just thinking whether to draw trumps or not. That's the main thought always. Whether to draw the trumps. Good. Okay. Let's go. I've made up my mind. West is a good player. Rather than take the King of Hearts, they've decided to switch to a trump. They don't want to create the void on dummy as a defender. So that's a good switch to the trump there. By West, who's an experienced robot, it's what we pay our money for. Well, we don't actually, but if we had it, we would. Which card do we play now from Declare, everyone? We've just won with a 9 of spades in the south hand. Which specific card should we play next, do you think? Got 12 to choose, or 11 to choose on. Of course, this hand is available in replay. It'd be very useful to replay. I think a number of you are doing that, hopefully. There's 2 hands to replay on BBO at the end of this. Well, do you remember? I think we need a little bit of a hint. Do you remember the main time when we don't draw trumps? So when we've got a suit that's longer in our own hand than the dummy. So this is a time to create the void, Stephen, correct? Yes, it was whoops, Jane T. But you weren't alone. It's quite tricky to see. You know, it's going to take experience, you know, a few weeks or months for you to get used to this maybe. Some of you might be doing it immediately, which is great. But I think it's quite hard creating that void in dummy. They continue with their trumps. But we're in the driving seat now. Back to hand with the ace of diamonds, because that's where we want to be, of course, back in our own hand. And which card do we play now, everyone? Watching in replay? Which card do we play from our own hand, Declara? Well, we've done the hard work now, which is creating the void. We now make fruit from our labors. Let's marvel at that for a second. That's going to be our 10th trick to make this contract. Crucially, roughing in dummy. Otherwise, we'd have had 3 heart losers and a diamond. We'd have been 1 down. We get back to hand. Easiest way by doing this is a club. Please note, this doesn't give us an extra trick. We're going to make all these trumps anyway, but it does get us back to hand. I sometimes use the word transport, going from hand to dummy or from dummy to hand, transport. I don't use that word very often. Better draw the last trump before we forget about it. Diamond to the king. We're coasting now. We've done the hard work. King of trumps. But the robots are hanging on to their winning diamond. They're not stupid. But there we go. 4 spades bid and made. 420. Good start to Wednesday morning. So rule of 20 there in the bidding. We have quite a lot of bidding. We're quite a lot of useful things there. Rule of 20 for the opener. Cheapest of 4s for responder. 2 clubs. And then crucially in the play of the hand, creating that void on the dummy in hearts. West did quite well to switch to a trump as well. Otherwise, our job would have been easier. Okay, let's go back to the classroom. And that hand is available in replay for you afterwards when you click on the link on where the replay is and the worksheet. Opening one of a suit. Always open the longest suit. Length before strength. There's length and there's strength. Is that Hercules or is it Atlas? I think it's probably Atlas, isn't it? I'm not very good at history. I won't tell you what I got in my A level. It's Atlas, Shawnee, yes. Well done. Thanks for confirming that. Well, I did well to know it was Atlas, didn't I? Don't all say yes. So, yeah, here we go. So what would you open on that one there? 13 points. Choose between 1 spade, 1 heart, or 1 no trump. Choices. Only one's right, of course. It's going to be a very useful lesson, this one. Of course, opening one of a suit, because it comes up a lot. Of course, you're pretty good at this. Really, from day one, those who started back in October of last year, we were very good at bidding longest suit first, weren't we? Yeah, when I bid 1 spade, I might have 4 cards to the 9. You know, I'm not promising any strength. I'm just following the guidelines. 1 spade, good. Again, opening one of a suit, and there are 4 people in suits. With suits of equal length, open the higher ranked suit. Okay? So with this one here, you've got 4 clubs and 4 spades. Do you open 1 club or do you open one spade? If you're watching in replay, what do you think about this? Yes, it's tempting to open a club. People say, oh, that's the suit with the better honours in it. No, the major suit comes first. Doesn't matter about the suit quality. So important to bid that major suit in bridge. Open a spade, and whatever partner bids, you rebid no trumps to show a balanced hand. Good. Let's go straight on to hand 2. Why not? And there we go. Opener is south. Do we open a diamond or one spade? Can't bid one no trump, of course. That's 12 to 14. Jane T's got a question. 4 spades, 4 hearts, 4 clubs. Would you rebid 4 clubs or 4 hearts? I'd rebid the major suit, Jane. Yeah. If I was 4-4-4-1. 4-4-4-1's the bogey hand there, Jane. It's one shape we can't really bid properly in bridge. We do a lesson on that at a later date. So, morning, Judy, Jeremy. They're all opening one spade because that's the higher ranking suit. It's the major. Well done. They're all right. Nowhere near strong enough to bid 2 hearts with 5 rags to the queen and only 7 points. No, to overcall the 2 level, you need at least 8 points and a decent suit. Longer suit at lowest level. Notice that bit of North's promises 10 points or more after last week's lesson, or passes the rule of 14. If North had a weaker hand, they respond 1 no trump dustbin. What's South's rebid with 15 though? Well, it's a balanced hand. People sometimes have trouble here. And when I used to do face-to-face classes, I'd just say to them, is it balanced? It's a balanced hand. There we go. 15 to 19. And North clearly raises to game. And let's just practice the opening lead for a second. What does West lead to 3 no trumps? What's the opening lead? Yeah, 4th highest, 1st highest, 2nd highest, 3rd highest, 4th highest, 3 of hearts. Never play too quickly at trick 1. Clearly we're going to play the 6 of hearts, but how many certain tricks have we got? Let's just practice that. Always a good thing to start with. How many certain tricks? There are 5. Ace, king of diamonds, ace, king of hearts, ace of spades. Then we need to look for the extras. I've already done that. And then crucially, come on to the final stage of the plan. 3-stage plan. We talk about teeing up. Funnily enough, I am playing golf tomorrow morning for the first time. I played 18 holes since the beginning of the winter, I think. Anyway, which card do we play next from Declarer as South? We've just won the ace of hearts. Which card specifically out of those 12? Clearly, we need to establish the gold dust, which is the 5-card suit, the clubs. That on any day will be worth, well, on nearly every day, will be worth 4 tricks to us. But do we start with the king? Or do we start with the 7? Well, it's the higher card from the shorter holding to avoid blockage, a good habit to get into. Or top of a doubleton, if you like. It's nearly always right to lead top of a doubleton, whether you're the opening leader or whether you're declarer or dummy. So higher card from the short. We had a few of you playing the 7 of clubs. No names mentioned. We hate to name and shame. Very bad for business. Which card does East return now, having won the ace of clubs? Which card does East return? Question? Next week's lesson. Oh, it's next week's lesson. Okay, it's all the responses to 1 no trump. We've got a few more responses to tell you about when someone opens 1 no trump. Yeah, I would return the Jack of Hearts, partner suit. Yeah, really good to return partner suit in no trumps. It keeps them in a good mood, even though you know it's going to lose to the king. Because once it's lost to the king, you see, all the rest of the hearts are winners. Yeah. Good. Now we can enjoy the fruits of our labours by playing out the clubs. All winners. Effectively, we lost 1 trick to gain 4 here. So rattling off club winners. Well, normally I might finesse here, but we can't afford to. PJ's asking, how do you know what to discard? Really just, PJ, just experience tells you, really. But cards that are going to be of no use to you. If that makes sense. It's a fairly obvious answer, isn't it? But those spades we were discarding, they're no use to us. But really just experience tells you what to discard. As East and West. But we try and keep our honours guarded, PJ, if you want a bit of advice. So you'd always try, if you had a king, you'd always try and keep 1 card next to it, King X. Queen, you try and keep 2 cards, like we've done here. Yes, no need to finesse. It'd be very dangerous to finesse now. Because if we lost to the Queen of Diamonds with West, they'd take their 3 winning heart tricks and we'd be 1 down. And a little rule of thumb for PJ, because he was asking how you decide what to discard as opponents, you try and keep the same length as dummy as well. So if dummy's got 4 cards in a suit, East and West, the defender should try and keep 4 cards as well. Good little rule of thumb for you. Right. Well, that's interesting. Okay, over to you, because we're both playing this hand together. We're all playing this hand together. Which one should we play now from Declarer's hand? Ace, Jack, or 10? Easy, of course, because you can see the cards from East-West. But what you did notice, hopefully, is that West discarded on the previous diamond trick. So West has no diamonds left. So we can put in the Jack or the 10, confident that it's going to win. In fact, 100% sure it's going to win. And this is called a marked finesse, if you know that a finesse is 100% going to work. Not that you need to know that, but there you go. We'll give up the last two. To the opponents. So there we go, job done. 10 tricks gives us 430. Crucially, going for the clubs first, of course. Nearly always best in no trumps to lose a trick or two or three. Yeah, lose to win. And there'll be times, of course, when you go down in 3 no trumps. You know, you'll go 1 down, you'll go 2 down, you'll go 3 down. These things happen as well. Back to the classroom. With suits of equal length, open the higher ranked suit. We've talked about that. There is one exception, because I know you love exceptions. If opener has 4 hearts and 4 spades, then open 1 heart. We have covered that before over the last few weeks. It's the one exception if you've got both majors. So here we go. You've got 16 points. Nearly always an exception, PJ. Don't go over the top. Yeah, it keeps us coming back to this wonderful game. What do we open with this, though, with 16 points? Yeah, of course. Doesn't matter about the suit quality, remember. With 4 hearts and 4 spades, open a heart. Coming on to 5 fives, Jane, shortly. I'll wait for that. The reason why we open 1 heart here is it makes life easier for partner to respond 1 spade and find the 4-4 major suit fit. So it facilitates, that's a good word for you, the 4-4 fit. The 4-4 major fit, which is the holy grail of bridge, if you can find it. Easier to find at bridge than in real life. Takes us on to our 3rd hand on BBO. Okie dokie. So, North is the opener in this hand. 17 points. What do they bid with their 17? Good. Well, with 4 hearts and 4 spades, we bid 1 heart. Good. Interesting. Does East bid anything with their 12 points? Does East bid? That's the question. Carries passing, as is Repton. Yeah, the expression is, if you have length in the opponent's suit, nearly always right to pass. Can't bid 2 hearts here. South, what's their response with 8 points? As a responder. If you're watching in replay. One spade seems to be a popular answer. Yes, it'd be a mistake here to bid 1 no trump. 1 no trump dustbin does show 6 to 9 points, but it would deny a 4-card major. So always try and bid your 4-card major at the 1 level if you possibly can. North's rebid with 17. Morning, Judy. Nice for you to join us. Nearly grey day outside. Hope it doesn't rain for my golf tomorrow. Well, we must support the spades, actually, rather than bidding no trumps. If South had bid 2 clubs, then yes, of course, North would rebid no trumps, but we found the fit now in the major suit. But do we bid 3 spades or 4 spades? It's a $1 million question. I haven't got $1 million, but I've got 5p. Four spades is an overbid. Partner might only have 6 points. So to jump to 4 spades here, everyone, you need to have 19 or 20 points. Because South's only promised you 6 points here. 3 spades does the job very nicely. Well done if you bid 3 spades first time round. 16 to 18. If you only had 12 to 15 points, you'd have just raised to 2 spades. Does South raise to game or not with their 8 points? What do you think? The answer is yes. Well, you take the average of 16 to 18 points, which is 17. So 17 and 8 is 25. What's the opening lead? Not a particularly attractive hand to lead from, but what would you lead against 4 spades? Pour myself some water whilst you think about it. Funny enough, we're doing an opening lead lesson in a couple of weeks' time, actually. Yeah, I mean, they do say if in doubt, trump about. You can lead trumps now, permission granted, but it's quite dangerous to lead one from King 10-9. Would actually give a trick away here. So what's wrong with the 4th highest? 4 of clubs. Yeah, it's a lead you'd make against no trumps, but it's a lead you can make against trump contract. I don't like a heart lead, a doubleton heart lead, because that's a suit bid by the opponents. Try and avoid suits bid by the opponents. I'm not a big fan of doubleton leads anyway. I don't mind if it's an unbid suit, but if it's an opponent suit, best to avoid it. Okay, here we go. Second player play low. And which card are we going to play now? From South's hand, declarer's hand. We're going to draw trumps or something else? Yes, best to play. Well, there's no point creating a void because both the ace and the queen of clubs are winning. Yeah, we want to be in hand, really. Rosemary, yeah. It doesn't matter. We're always going to make 3 club winners, but we want to be in hand. To take the spade for Nestler. Definitely a hand to draw trumps. We don't need to create a void in dummy. When some of you are playing clubs back, both the queen of clubs and the ace are winners. It would be pointless to create a void. So low spade to the queen. Now we play the ace. Well, it's going to be quite difficult to get back to hand here. So we unblock the Queen of Clubs. And best to... Let's have a look. Best to play a heart. There we go. They take their ace of hearts. And we got much to do here as East. They're probably best off playing the King of Hearts, which we rough, over roughed. Switches to a diamond. Which one should we play here, though? Jack of diamonds. Should we finesse or should we play the ace king? Yeah, ace or king. Can't risk the finesse here. If it's wrong, we're going to go one down. Jack of hearts is a winner. Spade to the knave. And they're all winners down there. Ace of clubs. It's a winner. Diamond to the ace. And a winning trump at the end. So we just managed to squeeze home in 4 spades. That's 620 because it was vulnerable. But the main thing there really was to draw trumps. And the best thing was to play the 5 of spades to the queen. We then cashed the ace of spades, hoping the king might fall. It didn't. And then rule of 1, leaving the king of spades out there. Quite a tricky hand, that one. Not sure if it's available in replay. But yes, that's the way to play the spade suit. Play your low cards towards the honor card. So play the 5 of spades towards the queen. Play the ace of spades, hoping that the king might fall. It didn't. And then rule of 1, leave that king of spades out there. So yeah, we just squeezed home in 4 spades. Well done with the bid. One thing is important though, we didn't need to rough clubs in dummy because the ace, king, and queen all winners. You know, it just would be pointless roughing a winning club in dummy. Someone was asking about high fives earlier. If you are opener or responder, always bid the highest of 2 5-card suits. It's high 5. And there's Bob giving his master a high 5. Bob the cat. Many of you have read the book. And I think it was a film. Definitely was a film as well. Might even have been 2. But I do need to read the book because I'm a cat lover. Must put it on my long list. So high fives, whether you're the opener or the responder, actually, high fives are relatively easy. So here you've got 11 points. First question is, do you open the bidding with 11? If so, what would be your bid? Quite a lot in this lesson, but we have done a reasonable amount of it before. Rule of 20 will be the first time, I think. Problem is, if you open them at 1 heart, which would be a mistake, pawn will come back 2 clubs, and then you have to bid 2 spades, making the bidding very high. If you correctly open 1 spade, high fives, partner comes back 2 clubs, then you can bid 2 hearts, which keeps the bidding lower. That's the logic behind it. And we did pass the rule of 20 with flying colours. Actually, it came to 21. We've got 11 points and 2 5-card suits, adding up to 21. Just a quick reminder of the 5-4 rule. It's something we did a while ago. Whenever player bids 2 suits, it promises at least 5 cards in the first and 4 in the second, known as the 5-4 rule. So given that information, after I've opened a heart and rebid 2 clubs, what's your best bid now with 14 points as responder south? Have we got a fit? Rosemary thinks so. She's bid to 4 hearts. As has Carrie in the live chat box. If you're watching in replay, partners promised 5 hearts and 4 clubs. So you've got enough points for game. You've ticked the boxes. Straight to 4 hearts. 25 for game. Good. The second bidding rule, it's a fairly simple one. Whenever any player repeats a suit, it promises at least 6 cards. Something, again, we did a while ago. So given that information, what's your rebid with South now that North has repeated their spades? Rosemary's fastest finger today. I think you should go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Jeremy Clarkson. Oh yeah, he used to be our neighbour, Jeremy Clarkson. He used to live 5 miles away from my parents. We used to go around there and play tennis on his parents' court. Bit like Marmite, isn't he, Jeremy Clarkson? You either love him or hate him. So you should be bidding 4 spades. Do you get Marmite over where you are, Shauna? There we go. So you know partner's got 6, you raised a game, you got 13 points. If you only had 10 to 12 points with 2 spades, you'd raise to 3 spades. Just to remind you that if Open has a 6-card suit and 16 or more points, she should jump on the second round of bidding. And there's Bashir, look, doing his morning run in the Kyoto Mountains in Japan. I was going to say I took that picture myself, but I didn't. So yes, with that hand there, open a heart. Partner responds to spade. Remember to jump to 3 hearts to show your strength. It's a common mistake for people just to bid 2 hearts there, but this shows your point count better. So you've opened 1 spade with your 16 points. I've come back 2 clubs, cheapest of 4s or whatever. What's your rebid here as South then with 16 points and a 6-card suit? If you're watching in replay, what would you rebid here? What number of spades? There you go. 3 spades. Common mistake. I see quite a lot of bridge players in my classes, bid 2 spades with these type of hands. That only shows 12 to 15 points. We have got time for hand 4, so let's do it. Get our 4 hands in. It's standard to play 4 set hands in these online classes. Rosemary's got a question. If you only had 5 spades and 16 points, Rosemary, well, you'd either be balanced, so you'd rebid no trumps, or you'd be 5-4-2-2, in which case you would show your second suit. Yeah, you wouldn't ever jump with 5 cards. Here we go. Would we open on the south hand? It's only got 11 points. Good question from Rosemary. This is why online teaching is so great. It's so much better than face-to-face teaching. You can actually interact. Students can ask you questions and you can ask them questions back. That just wouldn't happen in a face-to-face classroom. People would be far too nervous to ask a question or put their hand up and get the answer wrong. Well, I'd apply the rule of 20. I've got 11 points. I've got a 5-4 shape, adding up to 20. North, everyone, what's their responding bid with 11 points? Very useful lesson, I think. Even though I say it myself, one of the more useful ones, just because it comes up a lot. Yeah, just longest suit at lowest level, something I say a lot in my career as a bridge teacher. South bid's their second suit. And over to North, got 11 points. What's their best bid, do you think? Have we got a fit is the main question. I think you should ask yourself first. Partners, work out what South's bidding is. They've got 5 spades and 4 hearts now. They might have 5 spades and 5 hearts, but minimum 5-4. Two spades only shows 6 to 9 points here. So well done if you jump to 3 spades. Shows precisely 3 cards support for spades, precisely. And 10 to 12 points. So well done if you jump to 3 spades there. Back to South. Any more from them? As opener or not? Whereas the invitation to game, we're dead minimum, definite pass. Good. Yeah, we don't play, I mean, we do play a lot of our set hands in game online, but in reality, at least half of them are played in part score, below game. Right, thank you, partner, for the dummy. I'm just deciding whether to draw trumps. I've made up my mind. And if you do decide to draw trumps, you then need to decide how you do that, whether you play them from the dummy, or whether you play them from your own hand, whether to finesse, or whether not. Yeah, so these are a little subplot, if you like, of how to play the trump suit. There's normally a right and a wrong way. Jack's favourite lead. 3 rounds of diamonds, which we ruff. Right, we're back in play. Which card do we play from our own hand now as South declarer? So we definitely need to draw trumps, by the way. No reason not to. But how to draw the trumps? Do we want to play them from our own hand as declarer, or would we prefer to play them from the dummy? Well, the answer is, when you finesse, it's nearly always best to play your low cards towards the high one. So let's pay dummy a visit with the King of Hearts. And now you see we can play spades towards our King Queen. Basically, we're finessing against East. Second player play low. And the King wins. That's a successful finesse of the Ace of Spades, 50-50. What next for us? We've just taken a successful finesse. Well, let's repeat the finesse. So we go back to the Queen of Hearts. Correct, to get to dummy. And play another spade towards the Queen. And East is fixed. If they play low, sorry, if they play with the Ace, that's fine. We'll take the Jack next time. Let's say they play second player, play low. An experienced player might play the Ace of Spades there, but it doesn't matter. We're in control. Queen of Clubs, higher card from shorter holding, losing to the King. East does best to take their Ace of Spades. Tries a diamond, but we've got a trump left to rough it. Ace of Hearts is a winner. And the two clubs are winners. Well done, everyone. Well played. It was a joint effort. It was your idea to finesse in spades twice. We just make 3 spades on the nose, 140. If you started with the King of Spades and the Queen, that would be wrong. East would have made both the Ace of Spades and the Jack of Spades to take you 1 down. So well done for finessing the spades there. If you remember just 3 things from this lesson, open the bidding with 11 points and a 5-4 shape, you'll be passing the rule of 20. You might even have a 5-5 shape, which would again, with 10 points, would pass the rule of 20. So look out for that one when you're the opening bid. Secondly, open the higher ranked suit with equal length. So for opener, it's the high 5s, highest of 4s. The one exception, of course, which I know you love exception, especially PJ, is if you've got 4 hearts and 4 spades, open 1 heart to facilitate partner bidding 1 spade. That's the reason why. Well, we got there. End of the show. Thank you for joining us. As I say, next week, same time, same place. It's all the responses to 1 no trump. The bidding's very different there. Oh, hi, Caroline.
Hi, Jack. That was such a great lesson. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. No, I think it'd be a useful one for the students there. Basically, these students have been learning most of them been learning since about October, beginning of.
Oh, great. And you know what? Even as somebody who's played a little bit longer, listening into some of these lessons is always such a great reminder of, you know, what you need to be doing. That last hand was fantastic. It kind of brought it all together because you had the changing suit to indicate that you had the 5 followed by the 4. Then you had the rule of 20 in play. You had making sure that you had to lead low over to your higher cards to finesse. There was the rule of 1, leaving the Ace of Spades outstanding. It was fantastic. Yeah, great lesson. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Caroline. Yeah, no, it was an instructive hand, that last one. As you say, it had all elements of what we've been teaching today. And actually, we have a few students who come and join in from other classes, you know, to pick up things that they're rusty on or something they might have missed. So, yes, obviously, this was an important lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder to the people on the lesson, but also the people that are watching the recording, that if you have any follow-up questions for Jack, you can go to the class page and enter your questions there. What have you got in store for us next week? Next week
is, yes, all the responses to 1 no trump, Caroline. And as you know, having done a bit of bridge before, I often say when someone opens 1 no trump, my expression is the rule book. Where is it? I don't have many books, but the rule book goes out of the window. Because, as you know, everything's so different if someone opens 1 no trump. The reason being because when you open 1 no trump, you're very specific on what you got. You've got 12 to 14 points with a balanced hand. So actually, your bidding can be a lot more accurate after that.
Whereas the bidding with the suits are open bids, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, that's right. If you open one club, let's say, you could have 12 points, well, or rule of 20, or you could have 19, 20, 21 sometimes. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So that's in a week's time, Caroline. You'll be here to introduce the class, which is great.
I will, and thank you again for the warm welcome, everybody.
No, they're a very friendly class. What time is it in New Zealand now?
It is just on 9:30 at night.
Oh, right. So not too bad. We're not keeping you up.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, listen, Caroline, it's lovely to meet you. I better get ready because I've got another improver class.
All right. We'll let you get on to your next class. Absolutely.
Yeah,
we'll see everybody next week.
Sorry?
We'll see everybody next week.
Everybody will be here next week. We'll probably have a few more as well. So, yeah, have a good week, everyone. Gisela said, thank you. So enjoy these lessons. They go so quickly. Oh, that's got to be a good thing, isn't it?
They do go quickly, don't they? Thanks everybody as well for your welcomes there.
Yes, PJ is saying nice to have you on board, Caroline. So everyone's very appreciative that you're here with us. Great. Well, I'll say goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Jack. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
All right, everyone. So just again, just remember that you can enter your questions on the LBO classroom. But otherwise, I will see you all next week. Thank you again for joining us for another wonderful lesson.
Brilliant, Caroline. Thank you.